Debbie is the firstborn grandchild of ours. And she had curly hair, black eyes, and a beautiful, beautiful Jewish cry even when she was a baby. She now has a beautiful Jewish voice that could equal an opera star, I say. And she went to Israel on a trip. I think it was subsidized by a little bit for about 6 weeks, and her voice was trained by a trained teacher. And when she came back from that trip to Israel, she sang a song by Gershwin out on, and she belted it out. So I opened my eyes. I was very, very surprised that she could sing like that. Beautiful, beautiful voice. Now she lives with her husband in Tampa, Florida. She has a little boy named Brody, and she also teaches Hebrew school in Tampa. She trying to carry on in a reform atmosphere. They're not Orthodox. There may be, but she and her husband is coming a little bit more. He was Jewish, but he was not
He had no religiosity.
Not too much. So they're coming along, but they're very gung-ho, both of them, that the little boy should be raised Jewishly. Adam Reinhurst, he's now in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's working on a degree from Cambridge University in England, and he's finishing his master's by television. A new system. He's graduating by television in a degree in English literature from University of Iowa. So, and they have three little girls. But they're bringing them up Orthodox, and it's a joy to see the way they're raising them. So much different than Maury and I had, because times are different now. The second child was Sharon. I think I mentioned she has 2 boys, Adam and Benjamin, and they lived originally in Wisconsin. Sharon lived in Wisconsin, and her husband had a podiatry practice with his father for a little while. Then he opened a practice in Illinois, and for Jewishness, she was gung-ho, and her child would not go to a Christian kindergarten, so she drove all the way to Skokie, Illinois, from Wisconsin to take him to the kindergarten at the Jewish Center in Skokie. And they eventually moved, not to Skokie, but to Wheeling, Illinois, because the house was cheaper there. And they stayed in Wheeling for a few years, and I believe then they moved to, where is it in Illinois? Buffalo Grove, Illinois, and they still live in Buffalo Grove. Their second son was Benji. He had a more Jewish chance of being Jewish because they had a synagogue only 5 blocks away. So they used to walk to synagogue, and they kept an Orthodox home. Danny was the quiet one of the family, very earnest and very intense. And whatever he did with his whole heart and soul. And growing up for him too, he was the middle child, and always there was someone ahead of him or behind him. He had friends, and
I used to pick him up at school on Friday. We'd go out on Friday afternoon for an ice cream cone, and that was our treat. We'd sit down and have a nice evening, and he's been very, very close to us. Very close to us. And David is my laundry man.
Now David is the youngest. The youngest always seems to have.
Yeah, he does my laundry twice a week.
He has the 2 older children to go on. And David got a Eagle Scout, and he mentioned in his speech in the Eagle Scout that he and his bubby were very close, because his bubby told him that she was the youngest of her family, and she always depended on her brother and her sisters. If she had a problem, she went to them, and they paved the way for her whatever she did, they helped her along the way. And he's the youngest in his family, David said, and he has older sibling to ask. His brother Danny, if he had a problem or anything, he could ask Danny what to do. And of course Debbie too. Avi, he changed his name now. He's Avi. Now that he's a rabbi, he's Avihud, and we're very proud of him. Proud of Emily too. She's working on sign languages and I guess psychology also. So, our life together has been very, very happy, and
She's
God
been a
was
good
with
wife
us.
to me.
We were blessed with a good family, a very good family, and a good background, a Yiddish background, so that we stuck together.
Our family.
We had the same goals to raise a family. I think that being around Jewish people when you're young and you have a nice relationship, a nice family relationship, and the holidays are celebrated while your grandparents are still alive a little bit, it has a deep meaning to the kids. It did it for our children anyway, and they carried on with Judaism. Our grandchildren, the boys, are all Orthodox to this day. And the two granddaughters, are conservative. But they have a feeling for Judaism that...
I got a call from Josh and from Emily both today.
They wish us every Friday, they call and wish us a good Shabbos. Mm. And that's why I say that the early atmosphere in the family, we were a very cohesive family. And that's all I wished for, though, too, because growing up in a Goshen neighborhood is difficult. You know you're Jewish, you know you have certain... we didn't eat any... When we were in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, we didn't touch any meat products, any pork, any non-kosher foods. And it was quite difficult to... although we had Jewish kids around them, most of the Jewish kids a lot of them didn't care. But we both respected our parents enough to know that we were Jewish, and there's certain guidelines that we followed. And I remember coming to Detroit when we first came here as a married couple, and we had already had our oldest child, and I was wheeling her down the street on Vaughn Street, and I was walking down Dexter before we moved into our house, and I heard them talking Yiddish, and I felt such a joy. I don't have to hide that I'm Jewish anymore. I'm Jewish, and it's such a good feeling to be among our own people. And I think I conveyed that to the children too, that we are Jews, and we're proud to be Jews. We're happy being Jews. And if you have that feeling, it carries on. And I used to sing him a Yiddish lullaby. Schlaf mein Kind, mein kleine, Alilu, Lilu. Schlaf mein Kind, mein Kaddish, einer, schlaf Shizunenu. In America is dein Tate, Alilu, Lilu. Schlaf mein Kind, mein Kaddish, einer, Alilu, Lilu. Wird schicken $20 sein Porträt dazu und wird uns hinzunehmen, Luli, Luli, Lu. Bis es kommt der gute Quito, schlaf Shezunenu.